Hi guys, what's up? My name is Saurav and welcome to another video of Element Solutions. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how we can upload files to Blob storage using MVC Core application. So I've already created a project here like with name Blob on .NET Core 8, and here we have an index file. So we just quickly, I'll just quickly show you how we can make methods like upload methods. You can find all the reference methods in the Microsoft documentation, and I'll be following that to upload all the files to like Blob storage. So let's suppose I have an index file here, and within this, if I just go to definition, like go to the view of this index here, what I'll do, I'll just create a development, and within this development I'll create like a container class here, and container class, and within this I'll just add a form tag to make a form, and within this I'll just give a input field wherein I'll give the type as file, and I'll just add a button here, and the type would be submit, and I'll give the name as like submit, and I'll also style a bit like I'll add like a bootstrap button class here, like a button primary, and we are done with a basic form wherein we'll be uploading files, and we'll be uploading it to the Blob storage. But in order to work this, we just have to add like a form section, that is we have to add like a inc type, that is basically multi-part form data. And once we are done with it, we are almost done, and now like the front end is basically ready, and now we'll just be adding a model. So we'll be creating a class here. So within the solution file, under the model folder, we'll be adding a class. We'll be creating a model. Let's give this as like upload model, and here we'll be defining a property which we will bind it to the input field like the just we have created. So we'll just give the like type as iForm file, and we'll be naming it as upload file or just file. Once we save it, we'll now go to home controller, and we'll bring this like class here in order to bind it. So we'll be just creating a first, but before that, in order to bring this like model here, we'll have to add like import this class to view import. So once we've done that, so since blob.models are already present here, so we can directly use in our index.html. So we'll be adding a model here, model, and the model name, that is basically upload model, and we are done. And now we have to bind this model. Like in this input element, we'll be using ASP4, and like the file name that we have given, that is basically file. So we'll be using like typing file here. So it's basically binded, and we can also add some sort of like, if you'd like to display some validation message or something, so we can basically add as ASP validation for, and we'll be using ASP for file, like the file here, and we'll be defining the text color as red, that is basically text ranger. And once we are done with it, like if we have sort of adding any sort of validation for this property, that will be displaying within the page itself below this input element. Now we are done with the front end part, and once we submit it, basically that will go to the backend. But in order to receive this on backend, we'll have to make some changes on the backend as well. But here, like within the form, we have to also define a method, like what method we'd like to perform here, like a post or get. So we'll be doing a perform like a post here, and within the index file we'll be creating a post like a separate one, wherein like once we hit it, like once the post request will be executed, our data will come to the backend on the HTTP post, and here will be within the parameter will be passing the same model, that is upload model, and I will define it as model. And here, like this comes the main part here. here comes the main part, wherein we have to will be performing all the steps to upload the file to Blob storage. So now what we can do is that now what we'll do, we'll just go to Solution Explorer, and here we'll be creating a folder. So I just right click on it, click on add, and then add folder. Here I'll add services, and within the services I'll add a class, and I'll just name it as Azure service, and I'll also create a interface of it. I'll go to new item, I'll choose interface, and here I'll be creating a interface that is basically Azure service, and I'll inject this interface to this class, and here I'll be defining a method. So I've already written a method for you. This is the code that I've already written. Now you have to install a package. So I'll just quickly go to Solution Explorer, and here I'll just right click on the project, and now go to manage NuGet package. Here you just have to search on the browser section, like here type azure.storage.blobs. So this is the package that you have to install, and choose the version here. So I'll just be choosing the latest one here, and I'll just click on install. So once the package is basically installed, and here we can basically see we'll have to bring the namespace here, and the namespace is basically here. And now we have to set the connection string and container. So we'll be creating a property like a read only property, and we'll also have to bring the space here. So this is basically a file that I've created in order to get the content type. So let's suppose I'm uploading an image. So what would be the content type here? So we can manually hard code it here. So on the content type, you just have to replace with the content, whatever the files that you're uploading, what is the content type of it, you just have to define that. And once you're done with it, our code is basically ready. So we'll just have to remove this part, and here we'll be removing this section here, and our code is basically ready. And now what we'll have to do is that we'll have to fetch, we'll have to get the connection string and container. So I'll just quickly go to Azure Blob storage, and here this is my storage, and within the storage I have my container, and within this container I have a lot of containers here. So I'll just quickly go and create a new container that is basically test container, and I'll just quickly click on create, and the container is now created successfully. Now I'll go to access keys here, and within the access key I'll get the key and the connection string. I'll just copy the connection string here, and similarly I'll paste the connection string on the read file here. I'll paste the connection string on the top, the read only property that I've created, and here we'll be giving the container name that is basically test container. So we are done with the configuration and all, and now we have to register this service, since we'll be using the Azure service to fetch the this method. So I'll just quickly go to program.cs, and here we'll be defining. So we have defined the the service here, the dependency injection. We have the type of dependency we have basically configured, and now we'll just come to the home controller, and within the constructor we'll be injecting the Azure service, and here we'll name it as Azure service, and we'll quickly create a field of it, and the fields are basically created, and here we'll be calling that method that basically we have created within the Azure service, that is upload file to storage, and we have to give a path here. So I'll give the path as in I've defined. So basically I would like to create a sort of structure within the test container. So if you'd like to add some sort of folder or something, so accordingly you can pass the folder structure here. So I'll just quickly save it, and now if I go to home controller, and I'll fetch the upload method. Okay, we have not defined the method in the interface, so we have to copy this and we have to define this in the interface here. Now if I type dot on it, we can see like we have our method is coming here properly. And now if we click OK, and we'll have to pass the two things we have to pass here, like the iForm file and the folder path. So we have the iForm file in the model section, like that we're getting it from the parameter, and here we can just define the path. So let's suppose within a test container I like to add a folder that is basically let's suppose files. So I've just given a file name here and I'll just keep it like this. Now if I execute the application, and now we can see that we're getting this input file, and here we have a submit button. So now let's suppose if I choose a file, and if I choose this file.jpeg, and if I just click on submit, and if I just come here and if we see if we're getting a file or not, we are getting like a file here properly. Now we'll just go to upload file storage, and our basically upload is completed. Now if I go to blob storage here we have the files folder, and now if I go to inside the file folder, we can see that this is the image we have uploaded, and if I click on edit, we can see the image here, and accordingly we can see all the values here, like the type, like the size of the file, what type of blob it is, and all the basically details here. So this is how you can basically upload files to blob storage, guys. That's it for today, guys. I hope this video was helpful to you. So do not forget like and subscribe. Until then, sort of here, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye bye.